Hi there, welcome back to FalinksTCG, and in this video I have a Mew VMAX deck profile. This might not be the best Mew VMAX deck list out there, but anyway. First off, we play 3 copies of Mew VMAX, pretty much the standard. 4 copies of Mew V. Mew VMAX being the primary attacker in the deck with Cross Fusion Strike, and then Mew V obviously evolves into Mew VMAX. Genesect V for consistency, for like drawing cards because of its Fusion Strike ability. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have as many cards in your hand as you have Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. So that is really good, and also you can copy Techno Blast for 210 damage with Mew VMAX's Cross Fusion Strike, which copies one of your Fusion Strike Pokemon's attacks. Next up, we run 2 copies of Meloetta for the Melodious Echo attack, which generally is what we copy with Cross Fusion Strike. And next up, we run 1 Oricorio, just for the Lesson in Zeal ability, which all your Fusion Strike Pokemon take 20 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon after applying weakness and resistance. You can't apply more than 1 Lesson in Zeal ability at a time. But then you've also got Glistening Droplets, which lets you put 5 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. Focus. And next up, we run 2 copies of Lost City. This is mostly just for, getting rid of opponent's Pokemon that can be quite problematic, and it also works quite well against single prize decks. So I think stuff like Solrock Lunatone maybe, because obviously if you Lost Zone their Solrock and whatever, that can be pretty problematic for them. But then again, this is a double-edged sword, because it means that you put your Pokemon when they're knocked out, so you could potentially lose a copy of Genesect or Mew VMAX or something anyway. Next up, we run 3 copies of Elesa Sparkle, I don't know how you say it. But basically what you do is you choose up to 2 of your Fusion Strike Pokemon for each of those Pokemon. Search your deck for a Fusion Strike energy card and attach it to that Pokemon, then you shuffle your deck. So this is a great thing to do, is to accelerate energy fairly quickly, because always a good thing in the TCG. Next up, we run 2 Boss's Orders. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, which can be quite good for maybe switching out into, a V or something that you can knock out and then win the game. Comes in pretty handy. 1 Cynthia's Ambition. You draw cards until you have 5 in your hand, and if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you can draw cards until you have 8 cards in your hand instead. So that's quite good, because then that gives you access to more resources. 1 Marnie, because Marnie, each player shuffles their hand and puts it on the bottom of their deck, and then if either player puts any cards on the bottom of their deck in this way, you draw 5 and your opponent draws 4. Really good for hand disruption. We run 1 Serena, because it's basically a Boss's Orders, but you can also draw cards. It's really good, and I think that quite a lot of decks are running it, so you'll see it quite a lot. But we next up run 1 copy of Silene, I don't know. You flip 2 coins, put a number of cards up to the number of heads from your discard pile on top of your deck in any order. That's pretty much it. Next up, we run the standard 4 Battle VIP Pass, You can only use it during your first turn, and then you search your deck for up to 2 basics and put them onto your bench, then you shuffle your deck. And if it's the second turn, if it's like your second turn or whatever, there's another card that we run, such as Ultra Ball, which we run 4 of, because you can discard 2 other cards from your hand and then you search your deck for a Pokemon. Which this is quite good, because obviously when you search your deck, when you discard, you can discard these if it's not the first turn, so then you've got discard fodder. Also Ultra Ball's great for discarding and searching. We run 4 copies of Power Tablet. Power Tablet makes your Fusion Strikes Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's Pokemon, so you can stack up some pretty high damage with this. Next up, we run 4 copies of Cram-O-Matic. You can only use this card if you discard another item, which meaning you can discard Battle VIP Pass. Then you flip a coin, and if it's heads, you search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, so that's really good, like, card searching. I run 2 copies of Quick Ball. You can play it only if you discard another card from your hand and then you search your deck for a basic, reveal it and put it into your hand. But I also run 2 copies instead of the 4 copies of Quick Ball. I run 2 Quick Ball and 2 Feather Ball. Feather Ball being a great card for Mew VMAX, because you search your deck for a Pokemon that has no retreat cost, you can reveal it. You reveal it and put it into your hand and then you shuffle your deck. So basically what you can do is you can just search your deck for a Mew V or Mew VMAX without having the specification of a basic, because you can, and Mew V and Mew VMAX have no retreat cost. I then run 2 copies of Boost Shake. You search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it onto the Pokemon to evolve it. Then you shuffle your deck, and you can use it during your first turn or on a Pokemon that was put into play this turn, but then your turn ends. So basically you can search your deck for a Mew VMAX and evolve it on the first turn, so then you're set up for the next turn. It's pretty good. But it does end your turn though, so make sure you do everything you want to previously before you activate it. We then run 2 Choice Belt for multiplying damage to Pokemon V by 30 more. We then run 1 copy of Air Balloon, just for if we get bossed into Genesect and we have to send out Genesect or something. Genesect has 2 retreat costs, so we obviously do that, and we can retreat it. 1 Echoing Horn, you put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. That's really good for like closing out games that, like if you need to Echoing Horn, then bosses orders a Pokemon V, then you can just win the game if you need to take 2 prizes or something. It's pretty good. We run 1 copy of Escape Rope. Each player switches their active with one of their benched, and your opponent switches first. It's pretty good. It can open up some pretty nice plays. Next up, for the last item card, we run 1 copy of Switch, just because. Then, for the same reason as we run Air Balloon. And that's the last item card, but we run 4 Fusion Strike Energy, the main piece of the deck pretty much. And we also run 3 Double Turbo, which is a very good card because it provides 2 stars of energy, which means that you can power up Mew VMAX's Cross Fusion Strike. So I think that's a pretty good combo to have. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like and drop a comment in the comment section below. And if you like this type of content and would like to see more, feel free to subscribe to the channel with notifications on. That way you won't miss a video. Thank you very much for watching. This was FalinksTCG. Goodbye.